Wow. Just like that, it's the end of the road. All good things must come to an end, and Sidelined is no different. This will be our last show, football edition, Super Bowl edition. Like, subscribe, leave a comment, and thank you to all the fans out there. They've been with us the whole way. Special shout out, Justin Loretti. He's our #1 fan, watches every video. He's liked, he's subscribed. Thank you, Justin, for taking the journey with us all year. And, we're going to recap the Super Bowl today. And in order to do that, I need my partner in crime, my #2, my guy, Sam Reed. Sam, what's going on?
Hey, Matt, another day in paradise, of course.
Oh, that's nice. Sam, every day with you is a day in paradise. I mean, listen, you look fucking phenomenal. You come in, hair looking nice, suit looking nice. We had some dunks. You got the notes. You got the coffee. You're always professional, and I appreciate that.
We're ready to go. Got to start the week off with a bang, right?
Oh, more than you know. All right, Super Bowl. Well, Sam, this was a really good game. Now, Sam, we didn't have a dog in the fight. Michael Vick, he fights dogs.
He certainly does.
Yeah, good. But let me tell you, bad guy, great quarterback. He could play for my team any day.
Absolutely, dude. He was a killer in Madden.
Yeah, literally a killer. All right, Chiefs Eagles. Sam, for a non-Brady, non-Patriot football game, I mean, this game lived up to the hype. Down to the fucking wire. Chiefs ended up pulling it out 38-35. They won at the very end of the game. Patrick Mahomes gets his second ring. They come back. They were down 10 at halftime. Sam, what do you think of this game? Like, looking back, what will we take away from this game?
I mean, it was a great game. What more could you ask from this? You got two juggernauts of two teams that have been, on top the entire year.
On top.
Respective 1 seeds in both of their divisions or conferences.
There you go.
And they meet up, this big clash out in Scottsdale, Arizona.
There you go.
And, it was a great game. And, Patrick Mahomes definitely balled out. Jalen Hurts balled out as well. Defense, a lot of question marks, I got to say, in this game. But overall, I was very satisfied with the outcome of this game.
Because you were rooting for Kansas City, Sam. Unlike a lot of New Englanders were rooting for Philadelphia.
Yeah, I was strongly pushing for KC, even though that hurts for me to say, being a diehard Pats fan.
Now, Sam, Philadelphia, they had a big lead in this game. They went up big. Jalen Hurts ended up making a big mistake. It didn't look like it was going to impact them for a while. He fumbled the ball. They returned it for a touchdown. And then the big thing was the Eagles could not stop the Chiefs in the second half. They have this great pass rush all year, good defense, got no pressure on Mahomes. Also, the big flag at the end of the game. Do you think that was ultimately the difference, the Eagles not being able to get any pressure on Mahomes?
Yes, I would say that definitely played a big role in this one because, as you can tell, the Chiefs came out, went all the way down the field, scored on their opening drive of the second half, and then nearly scored again on defense, but unfortunately it got called back because the refs overturned it.
Yes.
But it seemed like KC had the momentum. Steve Spagnuolo really drew up a lot of schemes so that Hurts was always being pressured, and it seemed like this KC D-line was definitely bringing the heat towards Hurts, and he couldn't really handle it that well in the second half because he wasn't used to seeing schemes like this all year. Definitely a different kind of defensive scheme ran against Hurts because he didn't really have any pressure to deal with all season because his O-line's been phenomenal.
Now, Sam, I'm going to disagree with you for a second there. I think Hurts had a good game, man. In the second half, I agree. They did definitely a better job. But I think Hurts was, they put up 35 points. I feel like that was enough. What do you,
I'm not saying it's Jalen Hurts' fault. Did I say that?
Oh, I'm just, no, you sounded like,
I'm saying Kansas City definitely made some adjustments at the halftime. And were able to contain this offense from putting up,
they scored 35 points.
A lot of points in the second half. They only scored 11 in the second half.
Okay. So you're saying in the second half?
In the second half. The first half, they had their way. This was the Eagles' game to lose. And ultimately, it was.
Yeah.
But the second half, the Eagles' defense could not stop Patty Mahomes for shit. On all 4 of their drives, they scored 3 touchdowns and then the game-winning field goal.
Yeah. I think that was the difference, man. The Eagles' defense was stouted as this great defense, and they ultimately did not show up.
Well, think about it, Matt. They showed a statistic during the middle of the broadcast. They were the 3rd most let me rephrase this.
Okay. No pressure.
Out of all time, like the defenses,
All of the defenses. They had the third most sacks.
Third most sacks of all time. And they got 0 this game.
They fucked up. They dropped the bag, Sam. I mean, they prematurely,
I think the difference in this one comes down to that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you pressure Patty Mahomes, because, a lot of question marks surrounding that ankle, right? They bring pressure and make him scramble. I'd say it's a different story. But it seemed like he had enough time to make certain plays. Like the ball was coming out of his hand pretty quick, too.
He was quick with it.
And if he's not able to scramble, I don't think he's the same kind of QB. Because he did have 2 big runs that ultimately iced the game.
Runs. He had 2 huge runs.
Yeah.
Those are very big plays. Sam, I agree with you. I think the Eagles' offense showed up. I think Hurts had a good game. Like you said, struggled a little bit more in the second half. Ultimately, when you have like these great all-time quarterbacks, and that's what Mahomes is. I'm not a hater. I'm not like a fanboy because he kind of came in the league when I was like 20 years old. You know what I mean? I respect him, dude. He's a humble guy. He's a fucking amazing to watch. And these all-time quarterbacks, man, sometimes there's nothing you can do, man, when they're just making plays and they're dialed in. And I think that's what Mahomes is,
Yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't one of the more flashy performances of like his career. I mean, he threw for under 200 yards, 3 touchdowns.
He made big plays. He did what he had to do.
He made some big throws. He did it on the ground with his legs, and he put his team in position to win. And that's ultimately the difference in this one.
Sam, this legacy, I know this will always be this. I personally don't like to talk about this stuff to the end, but legacy-wise, Mahomes gets his second ring. He's been to 3. He's won 2. Where does he shape out to you when you talk about all-time discussion? I know it's really early. He's only 27, but what do you think?
I'd say it's a little too early to tell because a lot can happen with the rest of his career. So I'd rather stay away from this.
Okay.
I do have a question for you, though.
Okay.
So Andy Reid, he's been around for a while. Where does he rank after this Super Bowl victory for you?
I think he's one of the best coaches ever, man. I mean, you got to give it to him. When he was with the Eagles, they didn't win a Super Bowl, but they went in the playoffs every year. He went to 4 straight NFC Championship games, 1 Super Bowl. He's been to 3 with Mahomes. They've won 2. His offenses are always amazing. I mean, he got the most out of Donovan McNabb. They win the playoffs every year with Alex Smith. I mean, Belichick's record without Brady is not good. Andy Reid still has an outstanding record without Mahomes. I think he's one of the best coaches ever. Definite first ballot Hall of Famer. And, I mean, still has more to go. And in terms of, like, offensive, like, mastermind geniuses, I mean, he's right there all the time with Bill Walsh. I mean, you got to give him his flowers.
I definitely agree. So here are some statistics about his coaching career.
Okay.
So including the playoffs, his all-time record is 268 wins, 154 losses, and 1 tie.
Wow.
Which is 63.5% win percentage.
That's excellent.
That's fucking phenomenal. And then 3 Super Bowls.
It's pretty good.
I'd say that's fucking a great career.
Now, Sam, the last thing I want to talk about for this game before we get into commercials and the halftime show and everything else, the referees. Ultimately, they came into play, and I hate talking about it. The fucking refs. We talked about it last week versus Cincinnati. There was a huge call at the end of this game. They called James Bradbury for a holding call and Juju Smith-Schuster. It was a very ticky-tack call. Personally, I think it was fucking bullshit. The fact that you're going to call that in the 4th quarter of a Super Bowl game, I think is horrendous. I think it was really ticky-tack, borderline at best. And I think it's fucking... The Chiefs, they earned it, everything. But, like, they won on 2 ticky-tack calls. I mean, at the end of the day, no one's going to remember that. But I think it was kind of bullshit. What do you think?
Well, I'll agree with you for this. It was a soft call. Like, in this moment, you don't want to see a game like this come down to this.
Throw that flag?
But if you're looking at it from this perspective, where the Eagles going to come down, either score 3 or, potentially score a touchdown in the time with no timeouts left.
I think there's a real chance.
I mean, we'll never know because of that.
Because of him.
Well, you got to look back at this.
Oh.
The touchdown that got overturned,
Okay.
that KC returned for a touchdown on defense, like the Sanders fumble, that could have gone either way, too, if you look at it. Or even the Goddard catch on the sideline. There's a couple of calls
Skinny
from
Batman,
this game.
the Skinny Batman catch they overturned, at the beginning. I think this one, I mean, I fucking hate when, the game's decided by refs. You're talking about it. Let them fucking play. Super Bowl 4th quarter, you're going to call that? It's fucking we shouldn't be talking about this.
I mean, they relatively let him play for most of the game. They only called 6 penalties the entire game.
I thought the refs kind of sucked. between that call you just said, between the Devontae Smith one, between that, I thought they were bad.
If you wanted to see worse, they could have called a lot more false starts because the Eagles seemed like they were jumping a lot.
Let them play. Let them play. Let the boys play.
Just saying.
No, I'm agree to disagree. All right. Mahomes, we kind of talked about him all time. You said you don't really want to get into that. I'll just say quickly, for me, he gets his second ring. I don't want to hear any of the Brady. I mean, that's not even fathomable. I'll say this, though. For me, he's past Rodgers. He's past Breeze, Roethlisberger, Eli, all those guys. Mahomes is past for me. I think he's definitely top 10, and he keeps climbing up the leaderboard. I'm sure he'll be, top 5 within 5 years if things stay the same. So.
Yeah, he's definitely on track to, join the greats up there, but he's not there yet.
Yeah, no, he's well on his way though. He's unbelievable. All right. That's pretty much it for the game, man. I mean, it was an awesome Super Bowl. That'll be an instant classic. That'll be one of the ones you watch on NFL Network. You look back in you go, wow, that was I remember that game. So at least we got a really good game,
Yeah, no, I was happy with the outcome.
Now let's talk about what we really want to talk about. Rihanna, Bad Girl, Riri, halftime show, a lot of hype. And for this, we're joined by RJ.
Thank you.
RJ, welcome to the show. This is a show we do every week. Mm-hmm. We're also on the Movie Mob. I don't know if you've seen it.
I watch it from time to time. It's all right. It's not my cup of tea, but
well, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. But no, Rihanna, the big reveal. She's pregnant. She did all the hits, quick, bang, bang, bang. Each song. I'll start with RJ. RJ, sure. Give me your initial thoughts about the halftime show.
I mean, listen, Rihanna is one of the best. We grew up prime 2000s artist. She's kind of in the shadows recently, and this was kind of her coming back party, hoping to get an album. But I thought it was great. But did it scratch all-time talk in terms of the halftime show? For me, no. Okay. And I have a few reasons why, but we can get to your thoughts first.
All right, Sam, what do you think quickly before I give mine?
I mean, I totally agree with our guest here. He hit the nail right on the head. It was great seeing her. I'm glad she came out, put on a great performance, but it definitely could have been a lot better.
In what sense?
Special guest appearances.
Okay.
Taking it up a notch.
So let's just go right into it.
That's a good man right there.
Did you want to see Drake? Did you want to see Kanye, Jay-Z, Eminem? Who would you guys have liked to see, and for what songs?
I mean, listen, as much as I wanted to see Kanye come out there, it would have taken away
that
from
wasn't,
it.
You knew that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, it wasn't going to be controversial. I will say, though, when she played All of the Lights, the camera started panning down a bit, I thought maybe he was going to come out of the fucking ground or something. But anyway, but I really thought Jay-Z would show up. She did Run This Town and Umbrella back to back, which is what I predicted, but Jay-Z didn't come out for that. He was at the game with his kid. I don't know. But, I mean, my biggest issue, though, I think is Rihanna's such a good performer. Mm-hmm. This isn't her fault, but I think the pregnancy affected it. Because she wasn't moving as much.
Not very mobile.
And I could tell from the beginning with the stage, she was kind of just like standing there and the dancers were doing most of it.
She looked like Roethlisberger at the end, just couldn't move.
There's one person to blame for this, and that's A$AP Rocky. Buddy, wrap it up until the Super Bowl's over. What are you doing? You already got one kid. Just take a moment. And then continue.
Well, listen, he's a horny guy, RJ.
Yeah, I guess. Where's your fucking album, too?
A lot of questions. Sam, who would you have liked to see?
Well, I mean, he already mentioned like two of my favorites I would have loved to see, Jay-Z and Kanye. But, of course, bringing Kanye out there may not go over so well with everyone.
Probably not.
Definitely would have loved to see Jay-Z, Hova out there for Run This Town. That would have been electric. He just comes in. Start saying those acronyms on the side. That would have been fucking awesome.
I agree. That would have been. I agree. The whole time I wanted Drake or like when she did Work, I was like Drake should come out.
Right.
Or Jay-Z. I will say though, I kind of like after I thought about it, and I kind of like she was solo. Mm-hmm. I would have liked to see a guest, but then I was like, you know what? Because she was pregnant, she couldn't really move a lot, and she just like owned it. She went through every song quick. You know what I mean? She did all the hits. And, I agree it would have been cool if she was a little more mobile. But, like, she's iconic. You know what I mean? Like, pregnant, still doing it. Still all the way up there when she did Diamonds at the end. I thought Run This Town was maybe my favorite. That and All of the Lights. I thought it was a really, really cool halftime show. I thought she did a good job.
The transitions between songs because even though if she didn't do a song, she would tease it.
Yes.
We had a few songs there that
like
she
Nana, come on.
Yeah.
Now, guys, I know you probably maybe not have noticed this, but did you guys get any nostalgic feels with the way the stage was set up for her?
From what? Super Smash Bros?
Super Smash
it looked
Bros.
like Pokemon Stadium.
It did.
It looked like the Final Destination kind of stadium.
And that was all I was thinking about. I was like, where's Pikachu?
Yeah, I'm not even lying, dude. Everything that I saw on Twitter was just throwing shades of that.
Yeah.
The Pokemon.
I mean, Matt, I agree with you, though. It was a great performance.
Thank you.
But for me, like, the Super Bowl, like, I feel like you got to have at least one special guest. If it's like J-Lo and Shakira, there's two of them, so that's fine.
That was the best halftime show ever.
Right.
No volume needed.
But, like, I don't know. I feel like she teased it, too, with the band coming out when she went to the middle of the stage for those songs. And then she did that interview where she was like, I'm thinking of bringing someone, and it was just the baby.
Yeah.
Nice.
Cute. The baby. What if she brought the baby?
I don't know. I just feel like on that stage, at least one little surprise.
It would have been cool to see.
Yeah.
I'll just ask quickly, where does this rank for you? Like, in terms of, like, of our lifetime? For me, I'll give you guys a second to think. For me, it's probably number 3. I'm going Shakira and J-Lo, I think, is undisputed number 1. I think last year's with Dre and Snoop, I think that was 2. This one was probably 3rd for me. I was looking back, I was like, you know what? This is probably, I like Rihanna. I thought she did a really good job. I'd put it 3 for me personally. But,
I'm blanking on some of them.
You got Katy Perry, Gaga, Maroon 5, Coldplay.
I think Coldplay was very good. Beyonce. I mean, she's got to be in the conversation too. That was a hell of a performance. I agree with those top 2 though.
Okay.
I also want to make a statement. The Weeknd gets a lot of hate for his halftime performance. I personally enjoyed it, but
I think his was weird because like it was COVID. Yeah. So I feel like it was like you got to take that like. I feel like he should get another shot.
And he went in like a stage too, so if you were there, you might not have even seen him during parts of it.
No, it was cool.
I don't know.
It was Sam.
You got Prince, Purple Rain, In the Rain.
Okay.
U2 after 9/11.
All right. Well, we were like
you watched this?
We were like 1 year old.
Yeah. No, I've seen it. Like I went back, looked at the shows because I'm curious to see.
Oh, you're curious.
Beyonce, of course, like you mentioned.
Yep.
Great performance. Shakira, that's up there. I'd say it's definitely in the top 10. I just don't know where I'd put it.
Okay. Do you remember the Whitney Houston one, right? Remember that one?
Which one did MJ did it too. Which one did Aerosmith come out?
That was like
that one of the Beyonce ones? They had a weird mashup group one
Red
year.
Hot Chili Peppers came out one year.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Lenny Kravitz came out.
Lenny Kravitz, great guy.
No, a lot of great halftime performances. But I think we all agree Rihanna. It was cool to see her.
No, yeah, it was great to see it.
RJ, we'll keep you on. We're going to be talking commercials here. Okay. I texted Nick. I picked out a couple of them that I liked. Here we talk a little bit about it. Overall, I thought it was meh. They were okay. They weren't terrible. They weren't really great. Like there wasn't that it's so good. But I don't know about you guys personally. My favorite was the Breaking Bad commercial with just when Jesse turned and said yo, and then you pan to Walt. Oh, dude, I thought it was fucking awesome. Tuco's in it.
You know what affected me though about that is we saw it before.
See, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't.
I had no idea.
I watched this before. They released it. I don't know why they did that. They should have just released it after, but that affected that for me. I've seen a few of the trailers before. I don't know why they did that. But Sam?
Yeah, I agree with RJ. It didn't have the same appeal because I already saw it, but when I first saw it, it was fucking awesome.
Tuco. I like when he goes tight.
Yeah. No, it was a great
throwback. How about the little conversation when Jesse's trying the product and Walt's like, we don't try our own product.
See, it's great because it's supposed to be meth, but it's chips. Yeah.
All right.
I
will say, though, my favorite thing that I saw in terms of the commercials was the Flash trailer, and it happened before. I don't know why they did that.
We'll be talking about it on Movie Mob. Tune in Friday.
Yeah, we'll be talking about
6 p.m. This is good stuff. That was actually a really good trailer.
Thank you.
Another commercial I liked here. The Breaking Bad one, obviously, top tier. But another. I like the P. Diddy commercial. I mean, it wasn't great, but I like when the guy started singing, "What is love?" I just like all the different mashups. Thought that was cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember some.
Like
of the
he's got to make a jingle. The guy goes, "Diddy don't do jingles."
Yeah, I will say the Coors Light, Miller Light one with the blue moon that gave me a chuckle. That was clever.
Yeah,
I like that.
I like the Sam Adams one when they go to Boston.
Well, Sam,
Ben Affleck in Medford.
We got actually right here. Funny. Jack Harlow.
Yeah, that one sucked.
Oh, I like that one. But
yes,
Ben Affleck. We talked about. I thought that was a great one. Yes. I thought it was cute. J-Lo was like, "Oh, this is what you're doing." Like when you say you're going to work.
Yeah.
I thought this one, Sam. So this is the one you're talking about. You like?
Your cousin from Boston.
Yep. Boston does it best.
Well, usually they make Bostonians look like idiots in this. I mean, it's kind of still do. But I just like it because KG was in it.
Yeah,
you know?
KG had that nice little appearance.
I thought it was cute, because everyone from Boston apparently is angry.
Was it last year we had the Krasinski one with David Ortiz?
It was Smart Pack.
Yeah, I like that.
So, overall, I think, it was okay. The commercials were fine. Nothing crazy, but it was solid.
I will say this, though. One of the stupidest commercials from this year's Super Bowl was the M&M one.
Oh, you didn't like that?
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb.
Maya and Yaz, fucking clam-flavored M&Ms.
Right, yeah, that was just weird.
That was a waste of a spot.
What are we doing here? I mean, you could have donated that money to good use.
Oh, you know what was funny, too, was the ones with Steve Martin and Ben Stiller. Those were good.
The
acting.
Blue Steel.
Those were good.
Those were cute. But RJ, thanks for joining the program today.
Had to come on the last episode.
It was a pleasure to have you on.
Very emotional.
And we'll have you back on next episode.
Okay.
All right. Thanks,
I can't wait.
Wow. All right. Good seeing
Thanks
you, man.
Thanks for joining us, RJ.
Thank you.
Get home safe. Get home safe.
All right.
All right. Well, that was so nice of RJ to join us. We're going to do our last Best Bets segment. End of the year. Sam Reed, Best Bets recap. Here you go.
Welcome back to Best Bets, everybody, for one last time, one last hurrah. What a year it's been, and what a game that was, indeed. Had me on the edge of my seat. And I will say, if Philadelphia ended up pulling this one off, you probably wouldn't see me sitting in this chair today. Just saying. But anyways, on a serious note, I got some great news for you guys. So, with yesterday being the Super Bowl and today being the last episode of Sidelined, this means I got no more best bets for you. Can you believe it? Neither can I. I know, right? Because this is everybody's favorite segment, right? So I decided to give you guys a little bit of a appreciation gift. So I'm going to go over how we did yesterday in the Super Bowl, how our bets went, and then also I'm going to give you guys the gift of the best bets of the year that we had. So we ended off the year going 13-13-2, which is a good 500 record, which is just slightly worse than what the professional sports bettors do for a living. So I'd say that's pretty good for a first comer. But anyways, let's recap how we did yesterday. So we had the Chiefs money line at plus 105 odds. We hit that one. That was phenomenal. What a game. We had heads as the coin toss result, which unfortunately missed because the result was tails, 50-50 shot, and we were on the losing side. That's okay. The Gatorade color. So this one pissed me off a little bit because the camera crew didn't cover this. They didn't show what color the Gatorade was. I had to find out via Twitter. Turns out it was purple, a color that hasn't hit in more than 20 years. But my good friend RJ Carreri behind me in the broadcasting booth, he said in the car the other day that I would be surprised if it was purple. And what do you know, RJ? You would have been a millionaire, kid. But too bad you did not put a dime on it. And then, everybody's favorite play, the last resort parlay. So we ended up going 2 for 4 on that, which means we lost the bet entirely because all the legs have to hit in order for you to win the bet. We had Pacheco anytime touchdown. That hit. We had Smith over 59.5 receiving yards. That hit. Unfortunately, Dallas Goedert could not find the end zone, and Patrick Mahomes did not throw for over 274.5 passing yards. But overall, I was very happy with this season and for you guys riding with me. So now it's time for my best bets of the year. So these were the plays that produced the most profit of the year. I'm giving you 4 of them because these were my top 4 plays this year that would have guaranteed you profit on the day. So our first pick is the Steelers money line back in Week 17 against the Ravens on Sunday Night Football. So this was plus 162 odds, which means if you threw $10 on this, you would have made an additional $16.20. That's pretty good for just betting one team. My next best bet of the year is the Panthers on the money line at plus 175 odds. This was the game where they played the Saints in the last week of the regular season in Week 18. It was a doozy, I'll tell you that. I think the final score was 10-7. But if you threw $10 on this, you would have walked away with an additional $17.50. That's pretty good as well. Now we're getting into the big dogs, the big kahunas. So these are 2 last resort parlays that we have. So the first one is the first last resort parlay that I gave out, the debut parlay. It was the Browns on the money line, the Bucks on the money line, the Seahawks on the money line. This was plus 659 odds. So what that means is you would have walked away with an additional $65.90 to your name. That's pretty damn good, I'd say. And lastly, the biggest kahuna of them all, this last resort parlay from week 18. We had the Texans money line, which I believe they won on the miracle against Indy, which cost them the first overall pick. We had the Giants at plus 13.5 against the Eagles, and the Titans at plus 6.5 against the Cowboys on Thursday Night Football. That was plus 757, which means if you threw $10, you would have walked away with an additional $75.70. That's a pretty good payday, I'd say. And I mean, I only gamble every so often. So, for a guy like Matt, that's pretty good. But now, guys, since we don't have any bets anymore because the season's over, we're going to wrap it up here. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in to Best Bets. It's been a hell of a ride. We hope you enjoyed this segment because I know it's everybody's favorite segment of the show. I'm really looking forward to next year and seeing what opportunities can come about from this. And this is if Matt and Nick decide to renew my contract for next year because it's up at the end of this episode, unfortunately. I got a wife and 2 kids at home, and I really need to take care of them because I've used every paycheck that I've gotten from the show on these plays, and we finished the year 500, so we didn't really make any money. And I could really use another paycheck. So, in the meantime, I hope everybody stays safe, has a great rest of their year. And let's turn it over to the most humble guy I know, Matt Samson, for the final word.
Wow, Sam. I mean, that rivaled MLK's I Have a Dream speech. That was amazing. Just talking about a humble guy, I mean, just quickly, I'm a humble guy. I don't like to brag. I did nail every single NFL award prediction last week. I literally got everyone right, not one wrong, 100%. Everything I said came true like a fucking oracle. I won't talk about that. I'm not going to bring that up. But yeah, guys, this is it. I know I'm usually a jackass. I usually joke around, a lot of jokes and quirks like that. But just quick thank you to RJ for showing up behind the scenes work. Quick thank you to Sam. I mean, Sam comes in with a fucking Bible full of notes, dressed to perfection every week, comes to play, all the facts, all the stats. Thank you, Sam. But most of all, thank you to Nick. Nick really does everything. I really just show up and fucking yell out of my fucking ass. I mean, I really, my job's easy. Nick does all the work, all the slides, all the pictures, all the research. It's all because of Nick. So thank you, Nick. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, RJ. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in all season Sidelined. This was honestly a lot of fun. I look forward to coming every week with Sam and hanging out, just talking football with the guys. It's something I really look forward to every week. So thank you for tuning in all season. I had a ton of fun. We may have things coming up soon. I love basketball. Sam loves basketball. Our friend group really we're all basketball kids. So, hopefully we can keep this going, talk a little NBA. We'll keep you guys updated. And, until next time, thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. How you doing? Wow, what an emotional... That's it.